I'm gonna do one more until I gotta go charge my phone. So I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go through this. Was Luke? It probably wasn't Luke. I don't know. Jesus' first miracle. Why is his first miracle? His first miracle in Canaan, right? And this alludes back to the Immaculate Conception and Mary's not his mother. And you know where I came up with this, right? Is like a bunch of different places. But there, you ever seen that Flonase commercial? Like, all the people are like, there's that lady and she's got like allergies, and they're like, it's faster, bro. It's faster, bro. Everybody's saying to the lady, use it. It's faster, bro. It's faster, bro. It's faster, bro. You know that commercial, right? And then at the end, her son's sitting there, and her son looks up at her and goes, "It's faster, bro." And she looks down at him and she goes, "It's a mom to you," right? And you think about it. So Jesus' first miracle, Jesus is at Canaan, right? They run out of wine, right? He's in the back playing beer pong, like, and he goes up, and Mary goes up to him and goes, "Hey, Jesus, I need you to get some wine first." And he looks at her and goes, "What does that have to do with me, woman?" That's how you know, first, Mary's not his mother, and Jesus doesn't think she's his mother, so he's not the bloodline of David. But who calls her mother woman? Can you imagine calling your mother woman? It's like the Flonase commercial. It's faster, bro. It's a mom to you. If that was really your mother and Jesus is like in the back, like let's put it in New Age terms, right? You're in the garage playing beer pong. You don't have a job. You're hanging out with these apostle guys. You're drinking all the wine, right? You're drinking all the wine, and then you're at a party with your mom. You guys run out of wine, and your mom comes and goes, "Hey, I need you to go down to 7-Eleven and get some more wine." And you say, "What does that have to do with you, woman?" You're living in your mom's garage. Your mom would snatch you up and throw you out. That's how you know that it's like this immaculate conception and Mary being the mother of Jesus, like, because he calls her a woman. Who calls their mother woman? Is anybody out there have a mother? Can you imagine calling your mother woman? You know what your mother would do to you if you called your mother woman? He calls her mother woman. Anyway, why is the first miracle the wine? Because he's Dionysus. It's divine. I'm divine. So Dionysus is the god of wine. I put it in the swine. I'm divine. It's the wine. He turns water into wine because it's Dionysus. It's the god Dionysus. And if you go to Revelations, right, the story of Zeus, right, is there's this woman, some of whatever her name is, and Dionysus, and they go to Zeus and they want to see something, and Zeus shows them and it burns her up, but he saves Dionysus, and the way that he saves Dionysus is he takes Dionysus and he puts him in his thigh. He sews him up in his thigh. If you go to Revelations, when it's talking about Jesus, they're still in part of the Dionysus Zeus story because he has this thing in his thigh. Yeah, it's the story of Zeus and Dionysus. But let's just stick with Canaan, right? So he turns the water into wine because he's Dionysus, because he's divine. Divine, I'm the vine. I'm divine, divine, divine. I put the wine in the swine. Legion in the swine, because it's like this Dr. Seuss word tree. The whole New Testament is like, I am Sam, I do not like Greek eggs, ham. I am the vine, I am divine. I put it in the swine. And then the swine, it's like a huge nursery cat can do it up the hill to fetch a pale horseman. For real, the New Testament's like this giant children's nursery rhyme. That's funny. God's making fun of you, or Satan's making fun of you. One of the two, but it's just like a huge phonetical nursery rhyme, right? So anyway, that's the first miracle is Dionysus, and it's wine. First of all, he calls her a woman. Second of all, it's wine because it's Dionysus. There was a pope named Dionysus. Did you know that one of the first popes was named Dionysus? Can you imagine that? Dionysus, this hedonistic god, was like a pope of this monotheistic. That's why they started changing the pope names, because as they ran into problems, they realized, because they made it up. So like the first 20 popes were, they made it up, and they just made it up and gave them like god names like Dionysus. And then like later on, as they were going through, and they'd have synods, and they'd be like, "Ooh, we got a problem here. We can't have a pope named Dionysus." That they then how do we fix that? Oh, we'll just have us change our names. Like, and originally his name was Dionysus, and his mother named him that. But we've overcame that, because now you change your name and you become this new creature or whatever. But that's not how what happened. They were purposely named a made up Pope Dionysus. There's a Pope named Apollo. They have a Pope named Apollo and a Pope named Dionysus. You don't think there's a problem with Christianity?